What is up, guys? It has been a very long time since I last uploaded, but I've been playing the game a little bit more here and there, and the ABC support that just came out is pretty fuego, I'm not gonna lie. So I've been playing the crap out of it. It's been a lot of fun. I might even say that I think the ABC support is absurdly broken. We have a bunch of new one-card combos. We have way more interruptions on our end board. It's just a great time. Before we talk about this deck, if you end up enjoying the video, think about leaving a like, maybe even subscribe, helps out the channel. I will be making more videos in the future, more on that towards the end of the video. But without wasting more of your time, let's go ahead and talk about these new cards. So the first card we gotta talk about is Xcross Cannon. So obviously our main deck monsters are retrains of the original X, Y, and Z monsters, and Xcross Cannon is by far the best one. So you want to play this at 3, because just by normal summoning this, you can equip any Union monster from your deck onto this guy, and that's not going to make you go through Union Driver or anything, so you just directly equip B-Buster Drake, it'll summon itself out, and then you're off to the races. What makes it even better, though, is it doesn't have to just be a normal summon, one-card starter type of card. It's actually an extender too. If you have a Union monster on the field or a Fusion monster, you can special it from your hand and it still has all the same effects that you would if you normal summoned it. So that's why I like running a lot of Union monsters. I like running the 3 B-Buster Drake and the double A Assault Core, so that way I'm consistently seeing these with my X-Cross Cannon. It makes your combo a little bit more durable and it just heightens the ceiling of your end board. The only downsides to X-Cross Cannon is one, and this goes for Y-Dragon, Yearhead, and Z-Zillion Tank as well, but you're locked into light monsters in the extra deck after using its effect. So yeah, all of these monsters are light monsters. I've tried to fit in IP Masquerena, but it's just not worth it. It's too much hassle to get a non-light in there. And also X-Cross Cannon, just like the original X-Head Cannon, is actually not a Union monster at all. So that means we cannot search it with B-Buster Drake, we cannot search it with Union Hangar. We have to go through a roundabout way to search it, and that's going to be through the new spell card, Union Activation. This has a lot of text on it, so I will just talk about the effect you care about. You're going to be sending from deck to grave a machine monster, or Union monster, was it? Oh, normal or Union monster. And then you're going to add to your hand from your deck a card that matches the same exact stats, but has a different name. So you need to play the original X-Head Cannon. It's a brick if you draw it, but it's not the end of the world. You could just dump it from the deck and then pick up an X-Cross Cannon if you draw into this, or you can actually search it through our new Union controller, which I'll talk about more in a second. Then we have Y-Dragon, Yearhead, and Z-Zillion Tank. They're very similar to X-Cross Cannon, but they are Union monsters. They're not specialing themselves out from the hand, but what they are doing is Y-Dragon, Yearhead is equipping from the grave, and Z-Zillion Tank is equipping from banishment. So basically the play is you do your combo with X-Cross Cannon and grab your B-Buster Drake, you link them off, you go into Y-Dragon Yearhead off the B-Buster Drake, and then he's going to pick up the B-Buster Drake again from the graveyard, so then you can link off and get another search. And then you're going to go into Z-Zillion Tank, who's going to bring back the Yearhead from banishment because you're fusing him, and then the Yearhead is going to summon itself out, bringing back the B-Buster Drake a third time. If you're new to ABC, welcome. You know, this is what we do. We just loop B-Buster Drake over and over and over again. And that's why you run these two, along with the fact that they are fusion requirements. So the first new fusion, and the better of the two in my opinion, is Union Controller. Union Controller does something that I cannot believe finally happened. It took us years to get here, but you banish monsters on the field to contact fuse, and it could be any light machine monster plus Yearhead or Z-Zillion Tank. That means we can finally get rid of Platinum Gadget on the field. I've always hated this card with a burning passion just because it just sits there and you can't link it off or anything. So finally we have this purple link too that we can just link this guy off, and that just makes me so freaking happy. But as for its actual effects, why we're even summoning this in the first place, it has 2 really good effects. The first one is the fact that it searches for any card that mentions Union monsters in its name, and Union Activation does mention Union monsters. So if you don't have access to Union Activation or X-Cross Cannon, you're searching Union Activation to get into X-Cross Cannon. And if you opened the X-Cross Cannon or Union Activation, you can search for Union Hangar instead. So 2 really strong cards that you can search with this guy just by contact fusing on the field. And also it has another effect where you can special a union monster from your hand onto the field, so it's a bit of an extender. So you get your search for like Z-Zillion Tank or something, and then it can summon itself out and bring back your Yearhead from the banishment. And then our final new card is the new boss monster, XYZ-Hyper Dragon Cannon. Now, spoilers, this thing is not an upgrade of ABC Dragon Buster. In fact, it is not even remotely as good, but it still ties into the deck pretty nicely. Honestly, most of the time I'm using it as an extender. You summon it the same way as ABC, but with these XYZs. And I'll just use that, link it off for, you know, Knightmare Gryphon or something. And then you can use its graveyard effect to banish itself, reveal ABC Dragon Buster, and then special summon the ABCs back onto the field. So it's a bit of a hyper extender in your extra deck. But it does have boss monster effects too. It has a quick effect during your opponent's turn to discard a card and then destroy one of their monsters, I think. Oh no, it's any card. Yeah, you can destroy any card during their turn, but their turn only, and it's destruction, so definitely worse than ABC Dragon Buster. But if you have enough gas in your hand, a lot of the times you're going to be ending on Dragon Buster plus this guy, so you're getting 2 spot removals on their turn, which can be quite obnoxious. I'm not going to go too into depth on the old cards. You should know what these do by now, but one thing I'll say is that the hand trap lineup might not be optimal because I refuse to spend money on Fualos, and I am building this deck because I plan on playing it IRL. So yeah, I'm not playing with Fualos. I haven't even come up with a side deck yet. Oh, another important thing is you really want to max out on Unauthorized Reactivation and have 2 A Assault Cores, because while A Assault Core isn't really the greatest card on its own, it protects you from monster effects when equipped to one of your Union monsters. So you can use this as kind of like a pseudo Called by the Grave. I often just equip A Assault Core onto the monster that's activating the effect, and then it won't get negated. Sometimes I have to whip out the Sea Crush Wyvern. I've even considered playing 2 of it because Imperm happens so much, but honestly, like, you go into Sea Crush Wyvern so late into the combo that it really doesn't matter. Like, as long as you have something to discard for Galaxy Soldier, you can kind of live with this not being a part of your main combo. And speaking of Galaxy Soldier, I know a lot of people are going the Ancient Fairy Dragon route and getting the Therion negate guy, but I really don't like that line for the combo because you have to play a tuner that does absolutely nothing except be a brick. You have to play the additional field spell, the Therion, you know, taking up way too much main deck space in my opinion. And I think it even takes up more extra deck space as well. So I prefer just having Galaxy Soldier because you can search it off Galaxy Photon Dragon, which is much simpler, no tuners required. And you can also use Galaxy Soldier if you draw into it. Like, it's not a bad card to have in your starting hand. There are many times where I drew this and I was just like, oh, I have this. I can preemptively make a Cyber Dragon Infinity now. So that's kind of why I prefer the Galaxy Soldier over the Synchro package, for those of you who are inevitably going to comment about it. And if you're wondering about the Angel Statue Azurune, it's because we have this Silhouhatte Rabbit in our deck. This thing is really cool. It's just a generic link to search out the Angel Statue Azurune, and it also like chain blocks your B-Buster Drakes as well, so it guarantees your searches. And then the Angel Statue Azurune gives you a summon negate, and then the Silhouhatte Rabbit will pop a spell or trap when you summon the Azurune. And I think that's all I really need to talk about. Let's go ahead and get into the combos. To do this combo, all you need is Xcross Cannon. If you have access to Xcross Cannon in your hand, you can do this entire combo with 4 hand traps if you wanted to. Nothing else in the hand. So we're going to start by normal summoning the Xcross Cannon. It's going to activate its effect to equip B-Buster Drake, because we don't have to go through Union Driver thanks to, you know, its wording on its effect. We can activate the B-Buster Drake to special it out, and then we're going to go into Platinum Gadget to trigger the search for B-Buster Drake in the grave, and then we also have an extender on field now. So you want to go into Y-Dragon Yearhead. If you want to simplify these combos down, if you can't memorize this like play by play, just remember your typical goal is to go X, then Y, then Z. Now we're going to use Platinum Gadget to special out our Y-Dragon Yearhead that we just added. It has to go to a zone that it points to. Y-Dragon Yearhead is going to equip the B-Buster Drake, and then B-Buster Drake from grave is going to special itself out. Now you're going to want to contact fuse here. And this is what I was talking about that I was so excited for. We can fuse the Platinum Gadget with the Y-Dragon Yearhead, so we can finally get rid of Platinum Gadget. I don't know, guys. I'm just so hyped about that. And then the Union controller that we just fusion summoned or contact fused into is going to search for any card mentioning Union. So because we already have the Xcross cannon, we don't need to go into Union activation. We want to go into Union Hangar. So Union Hangar is going to activate and grab us our next piece, which is the Z-Zillion Tank. And we're going to get the Z-Zillion Tank out with the Union controller's effect, which is going to special itself out. And then it's going to, you can do, I would do Chainlink 1 Hangar, Chainlink 2 Z-Zillion, something like that. And Z-Zillion's going to equip the Y-Dragon Yearhead. And then the Union Hangar has to go for Union Driver, because it specifically says we can't special summon Union monsters we equip. So this is our little loop around. We're going to get into B-Buster Drake again, special itself out. And we're going to have the fattest chain block of all time. We're going to go Silhouhatte Rabbit by linking off our 2 B-Buster Drakes. And we're going to go Chainlink 1 B-Buster, Chainlink 2 B-Buster, Chainlink 3 Silhouhatte Rabbit. Because, you know, Silhouhatte Rabbit's angel statue is, you know, pretty nice to have, but we're more concerned about the B-Busters. So you want to make sure you do that on the last part of the chain. That way they can't ash you if for whatever reason they were holding out on an ash this whole time. Now we're going to get the remaining pieces. We're going to get the A Assault Core, and we're going to get the C Crush Wyvern, which again, I love that we have 2 A Assault Cores, because if I had to use Unauthorized Reactivation to protect myself from a hand trap, I would have the second one to use here. So we got both of these right here, and now we can special summon the Y-Dragon Yearhead. It's important, by the way, to free up the left zone or the right zone, depending on where you placed your extra deck monster, your Silhouhatte Rabbit, because we're going to be ending on Knightmare Gryphon, and that negates anything that isn't linked. So if you don't have your stuff linked, it's just going to be negated. So that's important to make sure that you're placing it in the correct zones, which you could just follow what I'm doing here, and then just kind of do the opposite if you have to summon Silhouhatte Rabbit in the other zone. Anyways, Y-Dragon Head's going to activate again. I'm just going to go into B-Buster Drake for the additional search, because, you know, why not? And once that's special summoned out, the next step you're going to want to take is going into Galaxy Photon Dragon. And you don't want to use the B-Buster Drake as material, because you don't want to miss out on that search effect, but you're going to go for the Z-Zillion and the Y-Dragon, and you're going to make the Photon Dragon. You're going to use its effect, attach any one of them, and grab a Galaxy Soldier, add it to your hand. And now Galaxy Soldier is going to, and I think you should do this before linking off and doing any of those plays, because getting a Cyber Dragon Infinity earlier is better. But I mean, you would have totally gotten to Birud by now. That's, you know, not a question, but you do have the Unauthorized Reactivation to preserve some of your stuff. And also, a lot of your monsters are summoned from banishing your graveyard, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. We're going to pitch the A Assault Core, special the Galaxy Soldier. We're not going to use the effect of Photon Dragon. I believe it just changes your level, and we don't want to mess with our level. And then he's going to search for another Galaxy Soldier, who's going to send the Sea Crush to the grave. And now we have ourselves a rank 5. So we're going to go into Cyber Dragon Nova. Very important we keep him on that left side. And then Cyber Dragon Nova is going to overlay into Infinity. So this is our first interruption. Aside from, I guess, our first interruption was the Silhouhatte Rabbit plus the Azurune, which is going to be a Summon Negate and a Spell and Trap Destruction during their turn. And then we have the Omni Negate with Cyber Dragon Infinity. And now these guys, we need to get them into the graveyard. So we're going to go for Lyna, the Light Charmer. We're going to get rid of the B-Buster Drake, and we're going to get rid of the Galaxy Photon Dragon. And that's going to trigger the B-Buster Drake to search for whatever the hell. I'm just going to go B-Buster Drake again. It doesn't really matter. We're literally discarding it to use as fodder for our ABC Dragon Buster. And now that these two are here, we're going to contact fuse our XYZs together to make the Hyper Dragon Cannon. And this thing will not be sticking around for long. We just needed an extra material to get into our Knightmare Gryphon, which you can use its effect if you want to bring back a spell or trap if you had to discard it, but we did not, so that's not the important part of the effect. The important part is our opponent can't activate monster effects if their stuff isn't linked, and we're not providing any link arrows for them either, so they're going to have to summon a link monster if they want to start playing the game. And then we can, of course, go into our ABC Dragon Buster by banishing these guys from the grave, and you want to put it in, I would put it right here, because the extra monster zone, there's things like Relinquished Anima that can be kind of a threat. And that's your end board. You got a Summon Negate, Spell and Trap Pop, a Quick Effect Banish, an Omni Negate, and basically a Skill Drain on legs. This next combo is with the Union Hangar, which is still the best starter. It's still better than Xcross Cannon. However, this combo can be achieved in a number of different starting ways. Like, if you have Unauthorized Reactivation plus A, B, or C, you're going to be able to do the combo. This is not just a one-dimensional combo that you can only do with Union Hangar. This is a variation for... There's a variation of this for almost any opener. So I'm not going to go through each opener, but basically as long as you get a B-Buster Drake and something else linked off together, you're probably able to go full combo. But the simplest way to show it to you is through Union Hangar. Plus you just got to memorize the Union Hangar combo. It's the best one in the deck. So Union Hangar is going to activate, and we get to search our B-Buster Drake. We're going to go ahead and normal summon the B-Buster Drake, which is going to trigger our Union Hangar. And then you want to go into Union Driver, because if you go into the B-Buster Drake directly, it won't be able to special itself out. So we're going to go into B-Buster Drake with Union Driver's effect, special summon itself out. And we can go into our Platinum Gadget. This is going to get a double search off for us, so we're going to activate our first B-Buster, and then we're going to activate our second B-Buster, and I'm going to go for the Y and the Z. So we get the Y Dragon Yearhead and the Z-Zillion Tank. Now we can use Platinum Gadget's effect to special out the Y Dragon Yearhead we just added to our hands. That's going to bring back our B-Buster Drake again from the grave. B-Buster is going to activate its effect, special itself out, and now we can contact Fuse into the Union Controller. And this is where the combo gets a little bit different, because we're going to search for Union activation since we already used Union Hangar, and this is how we're going to get X into the grave. So we're going to activate its effect, we're going to pitch the X head cannon, and we're going to add the X head cannon. Now I believe we still have a Y Dragon Yearhead in the graveyard, so I'm going to use the Union Controller effect first to special summon the Z-Zillion Tank. And then Z-Zillion Tank is going to activate, and then we're going to get Y Dragon Yearhead. Y Dragon Yearhead's going to activate, and it's going to grab B-Buster Drake. And then B-Buster Drake's going to activate, and now we have a field full of Union monsters. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the Silhouhatte Rabbit, get ourselves that big old chain block. So Chainlink 1 B-Buster, Chainlink 2 B-Buster, and Chainlink 3 Silhouhatte Rabbit. This way we get 2 interruptions off the Silhouhatte and the Azurune, and we get a double protected search, get our A Assault Core and our C Crush Wyvern. And from here we can safely XYZ into Galaxy Photon Dragon. And Photon Dragon is going to detach, grab ourselves a Galaxy Soldier. Galaxy Soldier is going to dump those A and C pieces. Make sure you keep Xcross Cannon in your hand. We are going to use it in a second. We're going to grab another Galaxy Soldier. Galaxy Soldier is going to summon itself out again. And then again in the same zone, same thing. We're still summoning Knightmare Gryphon. We're going to summon the Cyber Dragon Nova and overlay Infinity on top of it for our third interruption, the Omni Negate. And now since we still control Union Controller, I can activate Cross Cannon from the hand. And Cross Cannon is going to be able to equip something from the deck after we special it. So it doesn't matter if it's A Assault Core or B-Buster Drake, essentially is doing the same thing for you. I'm going to equip, I don't know, A Assault Core, sure. And then A Assault Core is going to special itself out. And from here, we don't have to do any Link 2s. We can literally just go into Knightmare Gryphon, boom, boom, boom. Knightmare Gryphon, activate A Assault Core, bring back a B-Buster from hand or from grave to hand. We have something to discard with, even though we still have 4 other cards in our hand at this point, so we're still at 5 cards. And then now we can go into the XYZ-Hyper Dragon Cannon and not link it off this time. Make sure it's under this extra monster zone here. And then use the ABC Dragon Buster to... there we go. To point it next to the Gryphon as well. So everything is linked. Nothing of ours is negated. We have a spell trap pop when we summon Azurune. Azurune can tribute itself to negate a summon. We have a quick effect destroy effect on XYZ Hyper Dragon Cannon. We have a quick effect banish effect on ABC Dragon Buster. And we have the Omni Negate with Cyber Dragon Infinity. Well, there you have it. That's my ABC deck profile, combos you need to know, the whole shebang with all the new support. Honestly, one of the most fun decks I've played in a long time. I mean, hell, it got me kind of back into Yu-Gi-Oh! By itself. If you're a long-time subscriber and, you know, you're surprised to see me upload again, well, good news, I am pretty much back. Like, I'm back. I'm just not gonna have any kind of regular schedule or anything. I just happen to have a little bit more free time in my hands. I've been playing card games again, and I've always loved content creation, so I figured why not go back and make a couple more videos at the very least. I have like 3 videos already in the works, and I'll set the bar real low. If we hit 15 likes on this video, I'll take this deck online and we'll play some matches and have some live commentary and all that. I am also planning on making videos for TCG Pocket, Pokemon TCG Pocket. It's a really fun game. It's fairly popular. I think it's actually more popular than the regular game itself. I don't think most people actually play Pokemon. They either collect or they play Pocket. So I figured I would give TCG Pocket a chance, but of course there's always going to be a ton of Yu-Gi-Oh content as well. For modern, for retro formats, maybe Duel Links. I don't know about Master Duel. Master Duel is like hella grindy. It's not that I don't want to make Master Duel content, it's that I literally have to spend money to make Master Duel content if I want to have it come out fast and not be like a year late to a new deck coming out. So I don't know about Master Duel, but we'll see. There's going to be plenty of Yu-Gi-Oh content and some TCG Pocket content. I can't wait to show you guys what I've cooked up. That being said, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.